This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. You know, Cube is complicated enough that just like, making overgeneralizations isn't great, but I think this cube in particular, you either want to be in one of the two really good monocolored aggro decks, which are red or white, and those are like the most consistent decks. They have the most interchangeable parts. And then there's all these other really powerful decks you can build that definitely have a higher ceiling than the aggro decks do, but they don't come together as much. I'm talking like Reanimator, Field of the Dead, wacky stuff like that. So Day of Judgment's obviously strong. Control deck is pretty real in the format. I mean, you've got Teferi and Approach of the Second Sun. What more do you need, and Day of Judgment and stuff like that. If we were trying to force aggro, grabbing Kumano is what we would do. But I think Day of Judgment's probably strong enough. I think I'm actually going to grab Day of Judgment over Lolth. I like Lolth and all, but, you have to be able to beat the monocolored aggro decks in this format if you're not going to be a monocolored aggro deck, and I think Day of Judgment being 1 mana cheaper certainly matters there. Okay, well, weird. So we got the glitch, and then we actually got an Ember Cleave. And Ember Cleave, if you see that, that is when you start to force the mono-red aggro deck, because it's that busted. This Ember Cleave is, in fact, not an Ember Cleave. It's a Wrath of God. But we're going to take this Ember Cleave for sure. Because, it's just so strong. It's so easy to win games with. Just like in Constructed. And yeah, if there's a few, if I see this or the 5 mana 4/4 Convoke that puts a +1/+1 counter on everything you tap to cast it, the white card locks it on something or other. If I see either of those, that's when I sort of start to force the aggro decks. Because I do think, like I said, they're the most consistently good anyway. We only have one Ember Cleave. Keep that in mind. You can also be red-white aggro, by the way. But having a super consistent mana base is quite nice. So not a great red card here. We've got Riveteer's Requisitioner, which is okay. The white aggro cards here are better. The Evangel and Esper Sentinel. There's a good green aggro card here too. Green, there are mono green aggro decks in the format as well. Not even a land here that I really want. So, because we could still be a red-white aggro deck, and I think these two are way better than the Requisitioner, I think I take one of them. And I'm leaning Esper Sentinel. It really causes problems for a lot of decks in the format. And there are actually a decent number of ways to raise its power so that the effect is even more annoying. Okay, interesting. So, Oketra's Monument's nice, but I think it would wheel. And if I'm not mono-white, I am a little less interested. Though, only the cost reduction checks the color of the creature. Retrofitter Foundry is a pretty wacky card. I think we probably just take Apparition. Creature that's a removal spell is pretty good. I think it's better than Mephit's Enthusiasm. Okay, some good red stuff here. And also pretty good red-white 2-drop. But with Ember Cleave around, we really need to start taking red cards. So I think we take Ogrehead Helm. I do like Kobold Warcaller and the Lavamancer to a lesser extent. This is more here for like a blue-red deck, I feel like, than it is for an aggro deck. Kabira Takedown's not bad either, but Ogrehead Helm's a great 2-drop. Again, reminder, we don't actually have 2 Ember Cleaves. Arena's just, Arena. So it's showing us that we do. This is an okay 2-drop. You usually end up with enough spells that I'm fine with taking it. Is it as good as Thalia? Maybe not, but I think Ember Cleave is a pretty good tiebreaker here. So I think we go ahead and take the Pyromancer. Okay, so Bomat Courier is a nice 1-drop. Battlecry Goblin, a very good 2-drop that just scales all game long. Which do I like more? This is effectively red because of its ability, by the way. I'm leaning towards Battlecry Goblin. Yeah, it's just so easy to attack and get a token and stuff. I mean, also the token, if it gets made, decreases the cost of Ember Cleave, of course. This pack concerns me a bit about where we're trying to go here. I don't even remember, what did we take? Oh, it was Wrath of God. See, it would be useful to know that more easily. Harvester's not bad as an aggro card. Solemn Simulacrum is pretty good in most decks in the format. I think we're going to stick with the aggro plan and grab a Harvester. All right, well, Kumano faces Kakazan Wield. I'm pretty happy with that. It's strong, I mean, especially if you have really consistent numbers of 1s and 2s. All right, we'll take a Sacred Foundry here in case we do go red-white. Seize the Storm's really there for the spell deck, so... And I don't think that's where we're headed. All right, we get the Requisitioner back, too. That's a good sign. I do think Evangel is better. Evangel? That's one of these words I learned from reading Magic cards when I was too young to know what any of them meant, that I always say wrong as a result. But yeah, we'll take Requisitioner here. I mean, it is a little bit of a bummer that Apparition is double white, but, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. Thank you for the follow, Sasquatch. Whoa. One of my screens just blinked. All right, Catcher's Monument, not a bad pickup. Warcaller, I think a very good pickup. About as good as the Cleric, I think. Giving haste to things is good. Mana Tithe, you know, maybe. Maybe we'll play it. Tempered in Solitude. Okay. Well, how about this? So, very powerful white aggro card. White definitely seems reasonably open, but definitely less open than red, at least near the end of that pack. We've also got Chandra, Torch of Defiance. She's not super aggressive, but you can certainly play her in an aggro deck. We've also got Archon of Emeria, who hates on a bunch of stuff in this format, which is pretty nice, in addition to just being an efficient beater. Facebreaker, which generates treasure and can draw us cards. So, there's lots of good stuff here. You know, March of Otherworldly Light is a nice removal spell. Cliff Trop Retreat, Den of the Bugbear, quite good too. I'm leaning towards taking a red card here. That's where I'm leaning. I feel like Facebreaker might just be the pick. It's just so good. We're going to have stuff in play already that can probably attack most of the time when we play it. And having a way to draw cards late does matter. When you run out of gas and stuff. All right, Clarion Spirit, a couple of good white cards here in the Elite Spellbinder and the Spirit. We do have one red-white land. And while I think that's not going to be enough to splash like an Apparition or a Mana Tithe or an Esper Sentinel, the idea of using it to splash like Elite Spellbinder seems pretty reasonable to me. I think that's what I'm going to take here. Yeah, it's just got a nice disruptive effect, and having that angle in addition to the aggro angle is pretty good. We'll see if it actually happens, you know. Okay, so Seasoned Pyromancer is pretty good. Let's just draw, discard, and draw. There is a couple of Madness creatures in the set, like the Red Rootwalla, so that makes it a little better. Yeah, Restoration Angel, another pretty good white card we could consider here. It does feel like neither red nor white is quite as open as I want them to be, unfortunately. But we're going to take a Pyromancer here. Okay, so Pit Fighter is a 1-mana 2/1 that can give itself up to draw us cards, and that's fine. Chandra's okay. I did have Invoke Justice in a mono white deck I drafted yesterday, and it was pretty good, obviously, like as my top curve. Okay, Chain Whirler. There's a reason to really lean into mono red. Obviously, Obnixilis is quite strong. Voltaic Visionary is not bad, but Chain Whirler is really good. Does decrease the chances we'll play an Elite Spellbinder, but that's okay. Ox of Agonis. Not really feeling that. It's not bad, but I think I'm just going to take an Overseer. We only have one Ember Cleave. You know, like most cubes, there's only one of each card. Yeah, red is really not as open as I would like. I'm going to grab a Steam Vents just in case there's something blue we decide to splash. I think I probably should have gone white. But it's so hard when you have Ember Cleave to turn your back on Ember Cleave. So I didn't. Yeah, this helps us. Things that help us go wide, obviously, really like Ember Cleave. See a couple good white cards. Decent red card here. I mean, it's nothing special, really, for our deck. But, yeah. We do need some removal. That's one thing we haven't really picked up. Someone else seems to be snatching it all up. All right, we'll grab Clifftop Retreat here. It makes it easier for us to play these, potentially. If we can get all lands that produce red, you know, alongside our Chain Whirler and splashing those, that's not too bad. Wow. So, yeah, this is a rebalanced Fall of the Imposter. It's only 2 mana. That is pretty strong. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you know... Of course, when I wasn't streaming, I had 3 drafts that went amazing. Like, in terms of what I got and what was open. Now, not so much. I mean, we're not in, like, a world of trouble. We'll take Visionary as a nice pickup. But I do think I picked the wrong lane, basically. Okay, well, we do need removal, and especially removal that goes face is pretty nice for us. We also have a Shadow Spear. I mean, that's a strong card for sure. I think that's really what we're looking at. Pillar and Shadow Spear. I think Shadow Spear is probably good enough. I'd take it over the removal. Yeah. I mean, do I have other vampires at this point? No. Okay, so here's the Root Walla. This has Madness for free, so, you know, we could discard it to something like our Pyromancer or a Blood Token, which is pretty strong. That said, there's also a Rahilda, which is a 2-mana 2/2 with first strike, already something you're in on. Gains double strike when it transforms, does all kinds of wacky alchemy things when it does combat damage to your opponent, letting you cast things that you conjure. Is it conjure? No, you exile. Yeah. It's interesting it's not conjure. But either way, you get cards. It's a strong 2-drop. I think I'm sort of leaning towards not playing white, but we'll see. Ooh, this pack is stacked. So Ambergris is real strong. So is Legion Warboss, though. Its ability to just generate bodies, plus the Mentor, is really good. And then Anax is also great, too. I think the Warboss is just better than the other two. It can just win games all on its own. As much as I like these two. The Warboss just generating a body every turn. Mentor, like, it really, really does pretty well. So we're not going to be that good at getting Delirium or casting non-creature spells. But it's not like we don't do it. So... You know, we could also consider Mikaeus as a splash. But I think just grabbing the red 1-drop is probably fine. Wait, how has it changed? Oh, yeah, they powered it down. It's only a 3/1 with Delirium. So here's Blood. Here's a Rabbit Battery. I think I like Rabbit Battery a little more. We have enough cards in our deck that, like, get us more value late. And, you know, some more... hasty things and stuff is ideal. Okay. Well. Yeah, I may not play the Monument in the end. Even without the cost reduction effect, it's pretty strong at making bodies and stuff, but yeah. I'm gonna grab Heliod here. Ooh, Torbrand. Okay, well, I think that validates to some extent us going mono-red. I wouldn't mind a Synthesizer as low as our curve is. Doomworthy's not bad either, but we'll take Torbran. The one thing we don't have, and the thing that I think may end up being our biggest problem, is still removal. We just don't have much of it. So yeah, I'll take a Caravan here. I'll take a Vanguard. I don't think we're going to go wide at all, but it is strong. All right, get this Pillar of Flame back anyway, which is nice, but I would have liked... Could use some better removal than it, but I needed something, so... I don't think white spells have to be cast to trigger it. They do not. It only reduces the cost of white spells. You're sort of combining the two clauses. Any spell makes a 1/1. Creature spell. Any creature spell. It's going to be annoying because we'll have to go and not make our deck at first because it'll glitch out because of our 2 Ember Cleaves. So I have to go back and forth and fix it. Good stuff. Oh, we get the Root Walla. I mean, it's an okay 1-drop. Like in this, this cube's not crazy powerful, and it's an okay 1-drop in this cube anyway. And if you can Madness it out, it's really good. Jugon Defends a Temple is pretty exciting for somebody. But I'm happy to get a late Root Walla here. So we've got a Wrath of God. Wow. Okay, interesting. So I think I probably take Ambergris, but Obosh is pretty good. He's not going to be our commander or our companion if we take him. But he's pretty good. He also costs 5 in a deck where we don't really want that, so... I know Embercleave looks like it costs 6, but it doesn't cost 6. It's a lie.
This should be a nice break from Ravnica.
Yeah, I think we cut white entirely. Now that, we've got Chain Whirler, Torbran. Ooh, we get an Epicure late, too. Seems like somebody bailed out of red late. And the Synthesizer. We got, like, everything to wheel that we wanted in that, the end of that pack. All right, so we need to go back because it won't let us save our deck. Yeah. Network error. That's different. So, Reading Cube draft. There we go. Now we should have the correct number of Embercleaves. I wish we had 2 Embercleaves. That would be incredible. All right, so cut all the white cards. That's a good starting point, since now we have to look at it this way. Yeah, we have a bunch of cards, actually, that draw us cards, which is going to give us the juice late to actually beat some of the aggro decks around. Why do you think I want all of these lands? Oh, I guess you just put them in there by default. Yeah, we definitely go down to 16 lands, so that's a good starting point. Where do we go from here? We have 3 cards we need to cut. How many instants and sorceries did we end up with? Not very many. Oh, yeah. We have 1. So, I think that means we probably just lose things like... Well, it's non-creature spell for Channeler, but this is instant and sorcery. It's basically just a 2-mana 2/1 in our deck. Pass. In terms of non-creature spells, I don't really think we have enough of them either. We have 2 enchantments. And, I guess, like 4 artifacts that aren't creatures. It's probably not enough. Yeah. So, don't think we want the Channeler. Oh, we don't want Tempered in Solitude either. Are there some other obvious cuts, actually, where I need to actually leave some of that stuff in, since it did unmake our deck? Okay, so the question is, do we want the Monument? I mean, our deck has 17 creature spells. It seems pretty good, even without the cost reduction. But it is a little kind of slow and awkward to some extent. Like, we just want to be curving out and killing our opponent, basically. And the Monument is a card that does not add to the board. It can't equip Embercleave, which is important. It's not red. The tokens it makes aren't red. So I kind of think we don't run the Monument in the end. Yeah. And then we put back in some random, unimpressive 1 or 2 drop. Seems like this is more likely to do something. So we'll do that. All right. I think the Mage is okay. I mean, ideally, I would have some other 1-drop. But We have like 5 cards that'll trigger it, and it's still a 1 mana 1/2. It seems fine. Better than Pyromancer. Okay, I think it's working again, but it is weird that it just stopped working. All right. So, Rootwalla, give it haste. Nah, it doesn't really do anything. Let's play our synthesizer here and see what happens. Weird. Okay, well, that's probably what we do now. Don't love this 0/3 being in our way. But yeah, I mean, generally we want to be running people over. And our opponent playing a 0/3 on turn 1 has made that challenging. And obviously there's some sort of control deck. So, yeah. So, kind of think getting Legion Warboss online seems really good here. Yeah. Finally get in for some damage. Okay. Okay. I think play Pyromancer. I may discard the Epicure and the Rootwalla. Like, what I'm trying to do here is find Ember Cleave, basically. So, Pyromancer. We're going to discard the Rootwalla and the Epicure. We get to cast the Rootwalla for free. Get our War Boss back. Look at that board. Hopefully they don't have a Wrath effect, huh? Wrath would be bad, obviously. My Pyromancer can rebuild, and my Rabbit Battery is protected now. So, that's good. But yeah. Is Settle the Wreckage in this format? Oh man, we got our Battlecry Goblin going. Well, that is interesting. What do I try to do here? That is the question. I have so many options, and they have so much mana. I kind of think playing as few things as possible is probably better in case they have a Wrath, so I think maybe just slamming Battlecry Goblin, using its ability to gain haste and attacking is the best plan here. We just have our Synthesizer to fall back on if there's a Wrath, but we need our opponent to have significantly lower life, so see if they counter this. We do have one other Goblin that'll get buffed, so even if they kill Battlecry Goblin, that might matter. Right. What do you have here? Yeah, that's pretty good. Unfortunately. They did give me back my Pyromancer, which surprises me a little bit. Alright. Have him down to 10. Have him down to 10. That's good. There's Teferi.
If you show remorse,
I think it's pretty likely we can deal with him here, but we'll see. They will have 3 mana, so that matters. Chain Whirler does do 1 damage to Planeswalkers, so that's good. Problem is, I can't play like Warboss and Chain Whirler here. We obviously and definitely need to kill Teferi here, is the thing. I'm just trying to find the best way to do it. They have 3 mana up. I think a removal spell, a single removal spell or a single counter spell is pretty likely. Yeah, Whirler plus battery or Warboss plus battery, all pretty good. Let's see what happens. Wow, it resolved.
I'm getting too old for this.
How about that? I think we just send everything at Teferi. We can't really afford for it to exist. I mean, the best yeah, we definitely have to go this route because of Teferi's high loyalty in the blocker. Alright, they're just going to let Teferi die, which I think is a relatively good sign.
I'll have a better plan next time.
And do we want to just play out our Channeler? I guess so. I mean, it is something to discard to our Pyromancer, if nothing else. Yeah, I think we hold on to it. It's not going to make that much of a difference, and if they have a board sweeper, that's okay. Okay, so there's the sweeper. That is going to hit everything. It'll even hit our Rabbit battery. But I think we can rebuild pretty quickly. So we don't... It would have been funny to hit something we could cast there. Alright, so definitely just cast... I think we cast Pyromancer, discard Channeler. Oh, I have to discard. I have to discard too, huh? Should probably read my cards. All right. All right. Well, that worked out okay. Then Warboss. Attack them down to 8. You have another sweeper. If they have another sweeper, I think we're in trouble. Not a sweeper, but another planeswalker.
Death is inevitable, and so am I.
Which is pretty annoying.
That was an easy job.
Okay. They have a black mana and a white mana. I do think we have to make sure this dies, but I'm relatively sure it will, and we can still knock them down to 5, which gives us lethal next turn. Yeah.
So this is gonna be one of those.
Okay. Seems too slow, but they have to roll a 20 or lose. That's not a 20. So this definitely wasn't an ideal game. We didn't get to play our ideal game plan in any way, but we got there in the end. They definitely got things to go more their way, but luckily we had enough juice that, you know, farewell wasn't the end. Morning, James. Things have been good. Freaking farewell, man. Luckily, we got them low enough. You know, there was that window where we did a bunch of damage that one turn. And that's what we needed to finish that game off because, yeah, it took us a while to finally damage them. Yeah, Pyromancer is pretty much what won us the game, it's true. Strong hand, turn 1 Kamano, turn 2 Visionary. Wish I was on the play, but you know. Lightning Bolt sleeves. I'm scared. That is the one thing this deck really lacks to think I'd be a really good version of this deck is removal, lightning bolts, and stuff. Alright, 4-2 Voltaic Visionary on turn 2 seems pretty good. Next turn, I think we play Facebreaker. Although, I guess if they kill our Visionary, we probably don't play Facebreaker. Because this won't be able to get in. If they don't kill our Visionary, I think we play Facebreaker and swing with both. This is a pretty good card in this format for more controlling decks because there's so many things you can blow up. I had it in my Field of the Dead deck I drafted yesterday and came up big several times. Planeswalker.
It's a beautiful day for chaos. Busting heads is my bread and butter.
Okay. Does this change my game plan? So the annoying thing is I have to damage a player for Facebreaker to trigger. And that is annoying. I kind of think Shadow Spear equip etchings. No, that's not that good. Not that good. I guess Shadow Spear equip Visionary is pretty good, actually. Yeah, let's do that. They have to block, and we still damage Domri, so I think it works for me. They don't have to block. They can just lose Domri if they want to, which is fine with me. Yeah, Harvester is a nice thing to have against sweepers too, incidentally.
Right. Give me some more.
So, can they play something that can fight here? That would be annoying.
Oh, have at it, boys.
Okay, there's our pillar. Alright, so now I think we do play Facebreaker. Send the Visionary there and etchings there. Get a treasure.
I'm not finished with you.
I don't think we do anything with the treasure yet. We can transform this at some point, but right now, I don't know why I would bother. So, all right. I think we lead with Synthesizer here. See what happens. All right, Pit Fighter, sure. So, yeah, I think we just swing out here. This game's going more like we want them to go. So, play Pit Fighter, and then we have mana up for its ability, like if they Wrath or something. Doesn't really look like that's their plan, but, you know. We are ready. I'll hold on to this, because I'd rather discard it to the Pit Fighter. It doesn't accomplish much for us to play it here. That is annoying. Freaking Thragtusk, man. Okay. Okay. So we really want them to block. If they block with etchings, oh no, it leaves the battlefield. God, that's annoying. All right, so we're gonna move Shadow Spear here. To a different attacker, because this already has 4 power actually. I guess I'll move it here. Do I want to use this ability before I do anything else? Maybe. Like, maybe we get hit an Ember Cleave. You never know. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Yeah, it's not an Ember Cleave. Yeah. I guess if I move this to something else, that individual thing can attack better, but maybe I also use this in this situation. Options. So, definitely attack with our Face Breaker. I think that's all for now. And then we play Ether Sphere Harvester. And end our turn. I feel like I should probably have been more aggressive that turn. Yeah, I should have been. I should have just sent everything. You know, they block this. I can use its ability. They block this. It's at least a trade. Yes, they get a 3/3. Yeah, I may end up regretting that. Like, what if they play a Restoration Angel here? That would be a nightmare. Alright, looks like they're focusing on killing my Face Breaker, which works for me. Why are you a sorcery? Alright. Aha! Oh, it's only if they lost life. You're right. Well, there's the Ember Cleave. That's usually what you want to do. Draw Ember Cleave. So we can use it for 3 here. Yeah, we just swing with everything here. Okay, 3, 5. You're gonna have 8 power, trample for 5. So yeah, may as well try to kill Thragtusk here. Yeah. Well, I don't think I played that game optimally in the end, but we drew our Ember Cleave, so. Which will usually do it. Hello, just there for limited. Nice username. Just here for limited, rather. Thanks. Welcome to the stream. Glad you enjoy the content. Ooh, good hand. Yeah. We get to go first, even. I don't think we have yet, right? So, turn 1 Kamano. Probably turn 2... Do I want to play turn 2 Battlecry Goblin? Yeah, because turn 3 Ambergris makes a token, so yeah. I guess if we end up not drawing a land, we have something to think about. Alright, so like mono blue tempo thing. I still think we play Battlecry here. Now if we draw a red, we probably play Chain Whirler first, but yeah. Yeah, if we just draw 2 lands, I don't see how we lose this game. Like, back-to-back lands. Okay, so they're blue-green. Not like a mono-blue tempo-y thing. Curious Obsession? No. That is not Curious Obsession. So, yeah, I mean, I think we play Chain Whirler if we draw a land. Obviously, if we don't, we play Visionary. Because we just get to kill this thing outright if we do. We don't. Interesting choice here. I could actually just buff my Goblin and get a 1/1 here. But I think actually playing a creature is probably better. So I think we just attack them. And we probably play Rahilda. Yeah, we'll play Rahilda. Both of these can help us draw cards, but she's the far better attacker. Plus, if they don't play anything, things could get interesting. Okay. Yeah, we need to kill them in fast. We need 3rd land here, please. We would just slam Ambergris, swing for 10, 11. It would be 11. Because, yeah, they are ramping right now. And that's not good for us. I guess we could hit a land, right? No, non-land. Darn. We still have a shot here, even if we don't hit a land, but we are... It's pretty... When your opponent plays Key to the Archive, you should start getting worried, basically. So the key... Ugh. Okay. Well, at least we drew some reach. Is it better here to just attack... Make the other goblin bigger? Probably. It's more damage right away. And I think I like that. Well, we got a Cathar Commando to destroy their key. Hopefully we're not too late. So the key ramps them, and then they also get to draft a card. Which is not good. Nor is that. They're going to gain 5... What's the other thing they're going to do? There's the 3rd land. They didn't put a shield counter. That part's good. I kind of think we just play Ambergris and swing out here. Yeah. This has double strike right now, for what that's worth. Yeah, so we play Ambergris and swing out here. They have to block Rahilda. And then hopefully we can just finish them with Pillar or Chain Whirler trigger or something. Let's find out. We are going to decline, but thank you. We'd have their Cathar Commando, but I think playing it and, like, blowing up their key is less good than just attacking them for a bunch of damage. So they go to 2 here. If they don't gain any life, we can finish them with Pillar. Let's hope they don't. We need the reach here. Don't gain life, please. Okay, they didn't gain life. Now they will, though. Brutal. Extra turn, gain some life, attack us for 7. Now what do you have? Chain Whirler does kill Knight of Autumn, so that part's good. Don't play another thing. Please don't play another thing. They can make a wolf, if nothing else. Looks like they're playing a real thing, though, unfortunately. Oh, man. Now they're going to time warp again. Oh, my God. So attack us for 9. And that's game. Yeah, they got us on the... yeah, they got us on the time warps. Nasty. Time warped into oblivion. Pretty sweet deck. That was basically exactly what they needed to do to not die. Take 3 extra turns. Yeah, the draft from the key was rough. Oh, I've had my stats on the screen the whole time. They're irrelevant here. All right, pretty good hand. These are both so bad against Shambling Ghast. Yeah, it's crazy because 1 extra turn wouldn't have been enough. They needed to take 2 extra turns there. Yeah, I'm not loving how this has started. Chain Whirler's going to be pretty good, I guess. But what we need to do is set things up so none of our stuff can die to Shambling Ghast. Which I guess means play Root Walla, equip it. It's kind of sad to not Madness this out, but it's just a better card than our Channeler, so. I do not plan on doing New Capenna today. I've done, I don't know, 100 drafts of that format, and it's mediocre at best. So, I don't need to do any more. Not when Cube's available. So, Chain Whirler's going to be pretty good. Attack with that, huh? Oh, yeah, I guess you get a free one every turn. So, makes sense. Okay. They're going to be able to crew this in response to my Chain Whirler, which I'm not loving. But yeah, obviously we still Chain Whirler. If you want to see me draft New Capenna, there's like, I don't know, 20 videos of it on the channel. Okay. I hope they forget to crew their vehicle. Oh, they don't have to do it now, actually, because the zombie can do it. You know, the decay tokens were like number 11 for me. They did almost make the list just because I thought it was so... Oh, no, they do have to do it now. Yeah, okay. I was right the first time. Not feeling good about this game right now. I mean... Yeah... Now even less so. It is not exactly going our way. Alright, if they have to draw some cards, then things are going to feel better for us, I think. Okay. Facebreaker. Give it haste. Yeah. Although if I don't give it haste, I could just play Voltaic Visionary in my second main phase. So that's probably what I want to do. I haven't done a draft since the change, and I don't really plan to. I drafted that format a lot too. I'm actually like 35 mythic-wise, which is cool. So yeah. What do I want to do here? You can get your power up to 3. Do I want to synthesize first? I guess I could play Channeler and then synthesize. Got a lot of options here. So this... I guess putting it on Voltaic Visionary is the best of these options. But let's go ahead and synthesize first. Okay, Warcaller's not bad. Yeah, so then we move this to Voltaic Visionary. Attack with both of these. Do I want to use the treasure token to look at the top of our deck? I don't think so. There's a chance they have a sweeper. It is less likely for them. There's also a chance they play like Shieldred or something here. And I think going as wide as we can is probably a good way of countering that. Yeah, let's just go for it. Six mana. Noxious Ghoul. That's pretty bad for us. But, especially because they gain life. I don't have a way to sack it or anything, which is sad. Yeah, our lack of removal, well, and you know, we just need to top deck Embercleave more. Probably means we should be drawing more cards, I guess. That's not Embercleave. Okay. Well, Visionary is a good attack. Nothing else really is. I think I'm going to crack this. Okay, we could blitz this. Do I use the Visionary's ability? Okay. I think we just... I'm going to move the battery. Am I? Yeah. I'm going to move the battery to the Root Walla here. And attack with it. I guess this plus battery might have been better. Probably was, in fact. They have way more mana than I'd like for them to have. We do get to kill this thing. If it blocks, anyway. And it does. That does now mean we can't play our Requisitioner, though. That's okay. Like, we needed our Pillar of Flame for this the minute it hit the table. If we have that, we win. But the problem is we only have one card like that. Okay. So we can make a 3/3 token right now. I really need to find Ember Cleave, or I don't think we can win this thing. Well, that's one way to find Ember Cleave, I guess. That's an awkward draw when your hand's empty. Thing is, right now, like, Ember Cleave isn't even that good because the creatures are too small. Overall. It's still pretty good. I mean, it's always pretty good. Or it's 2 draw. Oh, yeah, you're right. Good call. We don't get any bodies, but we get cards. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Equip that, give it haste, tap this to give this haste, swing out. What does that accomplish? Not that much. I think we have to wait like one more turn. Which is not good. Giving them another turn is not where we want to be.
A curious choice.
Here, have your swamp. Okay. This deck, the lack of removal is really not so good for us, in case you didn't know. Alright, give this haste. Ooh. How about this? Okay. We have 7 mana. We actually have a really good attack here now because we drew another goblin. Give that haste. Play War Boss. Play Battlecry Goblin. Swing with everything? Yeah. Why is it making me do it this way? Because I had a forced attack? They've really only got like one good blocker, so they're not, you know, in great shape here. They go up to 3. I'm glad sound just turned off like it likes to do.
What was lost is now returned.
Oh yeah, they're gonna gain some life now. Oh god. I mean, I think we had to attack all there. Like, we couldn't let them have more time to sit around, but it definitely looks like they're going to be able to get there. Well, they're going to attack with 2 things. Maybe not. We don't have to... There's a lot of cards we could draw here that could help get us there. Yeah, we don't even necessarily need Torbran or Ember Cleave. We just need, like, a decent-sized creature, basically. Well, there's a single damage, at least. So let's see. We attack with everything. At minimum, they take... Yeah, they take... They can block 3 things. So they can go to... Yeah, okay. That's... Not amazing, then. Not amazing. We needed a creature that's already a creature, and then getting in for lethal would have been pretty easy to do. Oh, the Legion Warboss token. Good call. Okay. I was right the first time. But I did forget. I really... don't get why it's making me do things this way. Yep, exactly lethal. I guess playing the Pyromancer token... No, that wouldn't have done it. We had to ping them. Yeah, I felt like we had lethal, and then I forgot about the token. So thanks for reminding me about the token. Oh, it's because I can also attack Karn. Yeah, that is why it's being silly. I haven't loved how some of these games have gone, but we've managed to win them, despite games getting long when we didn't want them to. So that's pretty nice. I'll be right back. Right, pretty good hand. Mono white aggro. Do I just want to pillar that thing before they put counters on it and nonsense like that? Yeah, probably. Too good of a chance that they start putting counters on it. Okay, they're not mono. Anyway. So... I think if what they want to do here is... sack their Ogre Head Helm, we probably let them. Attack them with Soul Scar. Play Visionary as a 4/2. Wedding Announcement is really strong. So they're like, seems like they're like a Naya aggro go wide deck, probably. I do find that the monocolored aggro decks in this format just seem to be better than the ones that try to do 2 colors or 3 colors. You certainly have, like, more power, but the mana base, even with good mana, like in Cube, like, the mana base being what it is, does hurt you. Okay, so you kill my Visionary? No, you just play huge creature. Okay. Makes sense. Do they sack it? Another game where it's really, like, maybe we managed to win, but the game has not, like, begun, like, where we just, like, curve out and kill our opponent or something. It's kind of what we're looking for. Do I want to play Pyromancer? Do I want to use Voltaic Visionary's ability? And then play, like, Ether Sphere? It's not like I have a remotely good attack here, so I think I'm just going to do this. So then we play this. Do I want to play Pyromancer and discard the Harvester? Not really. So I think we hold on to it for now. So yeah, the really bad news is Wedding Announcement is about to start buffing their creatures and stuff. And they're already problematic. I think I block Ogrehead Helm now if it attacks me. I mean, for one thing, I can crew Ether Sphere Harvester. Do I chump block Voracious Hydra? I don't know. Kind of think I don't. Hello, JB. What do you mean you put a face to my voice? My face is in almost all my YouTube videos. This can't block anymore, which, you know, kind of a bummer, but I think drawing us a card makes up for that. No, the life's not really that close. Actually killing this thing and keeping them from... Yeah, I mean, it's not worth it. That's sad. I don't want to redraw that. Most of all, that's the problem here. Do I just have to dig for Ember Cleave? Because that might be what we need to do. Just play Pyromancer next turn, discard both cards. Draw 2 cards, make an elemental. Torbran or Ember Cleave? Oh, God. I don't think we're going to win this one. I guess, you know, Ember Cleave always exists, but... Interesting. So I think we just take the full 6 here. We basically have to draw Ember Cleave this turn, or I think we lose. So that's what we're going to try to do. We may even lose if we draw Ember Cleave, but you know. Yeah! Just what I was hoping for. Okay, so I could still do this, but I won't be able to cleave for too long. I think we lose. Yeah, Halana and Elena, too good. Gosh, I guess if you're them, the idea of blocking here isn't bad just because they know I probably have like Ember Cleave or Torbran, and those could cause them some problems. And, yeah, they don't let me activate my Pit Fighter. So, and they can just gain control of the game to the point where Ember Cleave doesn't matter. So, you know, it all makes sense. Yeah. All on the Trampler. I have to stop 1 damage from the Trampler to not die. Yeah. It's annoying. Don't think we can win this one. I guess maybe just blocking with Pyromancer is slightly better. Because we can get something out of it at least. Yeah. They have far too much life, so even a lucky draw like Ember Cleave or Torbrand doesn't get us there. There's our own Ogrehead Helm. I could try to damage them and draw, but then that's too late for Ember Cleave to do its thing. So yeah, they got us. See, there was a fast game. It just didn't go the way we wanted it to. The one game where we had like an insane hand that could have curved out, it was like we didn't draw our 3rd land like ever, basically. That was the one time where we had like the dream mono red hand. So I mean the deck definitely lacks you know, we need like a few instants and sorceries more than just our Pillar of Flame. Like that's what the deck really is missing. But apart from that, it's pretty ideal as far as like a mono red aggro deck in this format. We haven't had very many of the like lucky you win the game top decks. I guess we did draw Ember Cleave once that way. Yeah, we did draw Ember Cleave once that way, but you know, we deserve more than that. It is kind of weird lately when I've been playing and not streaming. I've been doing way better. Like, I hadn't done worse than 5 and 3 in this cube in 3 drafts. And right now we're trying to go that route. All right, this is a pretty good hand. Pit Fighter or Rabbit Battery is our 1-drop. Sort of leaning Pit Fighter. I mean, the battery definitely has more utility, I guess. All right, let's do the battery. Because, you know, just being able to, like, pay a kicker effectively that gives something +1/+1 in haste is pretty good. Ooh, mirror match. So I could play Pit Fighter, put the battery on it. I don't really want to trade battery for Epicure. Yeah. I think we just play Rahilda. We're going to like the cards that Rahilda can hit in this matchup. Okay, so I think we pillar the Requisitioner here. They won't get the treasure, because it doesn't technically die. I could also just play Shadow Spear and equip it, but this way I can also like add to the board or play what I hit. So I guess equipping Rabbit Battery too, but you know, same basic problem. Wow, they're gonna block. Kinda didn't see that coming. Okay, well, we're gonna play Shadow Spear, pretty good in the mirror match, and the Pit Fighter. Yeah, that hurts. That does hurt. There's our Chain Whirler. Okay, so... that Chain Whirler. I should have suspected it more, maybe, because of how willing they were to block with their Epicure. But yeah, they both have first strike. They'll just kill each other at this point. Trying to decide whether I think that's worth it or not. Kind of think just getting War Boss down here is better. Obviously they block. We want to use our own Chain Whirler against their X1s that they likely have. That is a pretty sweet 4-mana Planeswalker for these decks. I think we're probably going to lose again. This does let us hit a Planeswalker. But yeah, it's not looking promising. I can tell you that much. I guess I Chain Whirler and then attack with Rahilda. Yeah.
Foolish mortal.
Who do I attack with Rahilda? That is the question. Gonna make another Devil, which is not great for us, but I kind of feel like we need to draw cards. Yeah. Alright, so what do we get to steal from them? Their Pillar of Flame. That's interesting.
My army ever grows.
Oh, Torbrand, you haven't shown up for us at all. Yeah, I mean, that means this does 3 when it dies now. This is looking like it's going to be a pretty disappointing record in the end. We started out... Did we start out 3-0 and then drop to 3-3? I feel like that's what happened. So we know we have Pillar of Flame. That's good, but that's kind of where the list of good ends. Okay. So equip Shadow Spear to Chain Whirler. That's not bad. That is not bad. What sucks is I have to attack with this, and that's going to cause all kinds of problems because I have a freaking Devil. So, yeah. So we gain a bunch of life. That's something. And we kill her. That's also something. Then they kill one of our things. Then we play Kumano faces Kakazan, and we basically are at the mercy of our top deck for the rest of the game. Which, you know, as always, could draw our Torbran, could draw... Okay. She doesn't scare me as much as far as being an aggro planeswalker, but, you know, being able to kill our Chain Whirler, not so good for us.
Now you're playing with fire.
Yeah, this was super disappointing in the end, I think. I mean, I think the deck definitely had flaws, but does feel like there were some pretty serious bad beats in this draft. Yeah. That does us in. 3-3. Wah wah.